All right, welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Day 13 of the Paris Olympic Games saw the Caribbean athletes contesting 4 finals in athletics. Let's take a look at how they did. So we're starting with the men's javelin final, and of course that gold medal went to Arshad Nadeem from Pakistan, Neeraj Chopra from India in second with the silver medal, and our Caribbean athlete from Grenada, Anderson Peters, walking away with the bronze medal. Of course, Kishon Walcott from Trinidad and Tobago placed 7th with 86.16. All right, so we're moving now to the women's long jump final. USA walking away with that gold medal, Germany in second with silver, and another medal for the USA, bronze for Jasmine Moore. All right, so we're moving now to the men's 110-meter hurdles final. USA with gold, USA with silver, and Jamaica picking up a bronze medal in Rashid Broadbell. Hansel Parchment, of course, from Jamaica, placed 8th in the men's 110-meter hurdles final. And then, of course, please take note of Orlando Bennett, who placed 7th, also coming from the Caribbean in Jamaica. What about the women's 400-meter hurdles final? Well, that was one race. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone from the USA with gold, Anna Cockrell from the USA also getting a medal in silver, and Femke Bowl picking up the bronze medal. We had 2 Jamaicans in this contest, so Rochelle Clayton in 5th position and Cheyenne Salmon from Jamaica also in 6th position. All right, so at the end of 13 days of competition, this is how the medal standings look. The United States of America in 1st position, having picked up 30 gold medals already, a total of 103 medals. The People's Republic of China in 2nd, 28 gold medals and 72 medals in total. What about Australia in 3rd position, a total of 44 medals? Going to look for the Caribbean participants now. Jamaica, position number 32, 1 gold medal so far, 3 silver, 2 bronze, a total of 6 medals. St. Lucia in position 42, 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 medals in total. Dominica has been doing so well, 1 gold medal, a total of 1 medal so far. And as we told you at the top of the show, Grenada, they now have 2 medals, 2 bronze medals. Well, joining us now on set to dissect the day's action is our Paris Games analyst, the one, the only, Anil Roberts. So, Anil, before we take a look at how our Caribbean athletes did in their respective finals, let's start with the men's 200-meter final. Noah Lyles, of course, a lot of people were looking forward to see him walk away with 2 gold medals, but unfortunately, he picked up a bronze.
Well, I don't know about unfortunately and who was looking for him to do the double, but
a lot of people, he was the favorite.
A lot of people.
Maybe not you.
Up north, but he looked after winning the 100 meters, defeating a faster athlete in Shane Thompson, coming out there proving the doubters like myself, because in the first round and the semi-final, he didn't look that sharp. He was coming out of the block sluggish. In the semi-final, he drifted to the left, but he came out like a man. And he took the gold medal on the line, chest first, for all of those who are just watching track and field for the first time in 128 years. You breast the tape, your chest. There's no foot, no head, no elbow, no hand. I don't know where these discussions come up and experts arguing about, look, he foot cross the line. Please, breast the tape, chest, okay? But then coming to the 200, he looked favorite. He's a 200 specialist.
Yeah.
He was coming down to the 100.
Right.
But Tebogo from Botswana put a curtail on him. This is brilliant, producer. Run it here. Watch Tebogo out there in lane 6 coming down.
Yeah, well, Leighton, I know, you also had your expectations for this men's 200-meter finals. Leslie Tebogo getting that gold medal for, of course, Botswana. What a brilliant performance from Tebogo.
I thought it was an excellent performance, especially with the fact that Lyles and, of course, Kenny Bednarek were expected to be the front runners coming off the curve. But Tebogo took control of that race early came off the curve and never yielded the lead at all. Yeah, Lyles says he had to have COVID. Afterwards, we heard that he had COVID, tested positive 2 days ago. But I thought the execution of Tebogo's 200-meter race was pretty solid, and I think 1946 speaks to that performance. Strong off the curve, shot into the curve, went tall, and held that speed right down to the line, and was very comfortable beating his chest like Usain Bolt as he crossed the line. It was a fantastic performance. What I wanted to ask you, Anil, is that given what we've seen from Tebogo through the course of the year, PBs in the 300, PBs in the 400, that speed endurance made a lot of difference in this race, didn't it?
Absolutely it did. And what is remarkable about Tebogo is in the 100 he didn't look like himself. Yeah. And I was worried. I'm saying, but where's the speed? Maybe the season was too long. He didn't peak right on time. But coming out in this final, he looked cool and calm. And Bednarek, who had been having a great season, to his right, I think they took the race away from Noah Lyles and those on the inside. The easy speed, the stride. It was enjoyable watching this athlete run. He was generating speed without working. He came around the corner, and that's where Noah Lyles caught COVID because he couldn't catch him. He accelerated. He drove as much as he could. And then that COVID test just popped through his nose, and he needed to be wheelchaired out. Let me tell you something. If you have COVID, then don't run. If you have COVID or the cold or the flu or dengue or malaria and you run, no excuse. Don't lie down there. Go in the tunnel where it has no camera and go in a wheelchair. Go in the change room privately. Don't dramatize. You did not get COVID-19. You get cocktail 19 from Tebogo for Botswana. So I'm sorry. I had a lot of respect for Noah Lyles in the 100 meters. Coming out here with all this dramatics like he's in an Oscar award ceremony waiting to get slapped from Will Smith. I don't like that, Noah Lyles. Take your licks like a man.
Yeah, and speaking about like a man, Anderson Peters doing it for his country, representing for Grenada, picking up that medal today, and it's consecutive medals for Grenada. So proud.
What? Grenada, the Spice Islands celebrating. Anderson Peters look great. And let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Chopra and the Pakistani, that could be a gold medal. But the javelin, I don't know what Keshawn Walcott did. But after the first round, when he threw 86-16 and he was in the lead, I was like drinking my coffee. I said, okay, let me settle now. It looks like we could go. Hopefully some men will have some red flag and so on. But like he just woke up the beast in every throw. Because right after Keshawn, second round started off with 92-97 from the Pakistani Nadeem. Then you got a 88. Then Anderson Peters. Then another man with a 87. And then after 5 throws in the second round, Keshawn was 6th. But this is Peters, a man who came out and his interview was brilliant. He's very intelligent. And he got out here. I mean, I think he has a lot more to go because he is using a lot of upper body, Leighton. I'm not seeing him driving that from the ball of his toes through his ankles. He's not biomechanically perfect yet. So he's leaving a few meters there.
Yeah, for real. But you know, when you look at it from Keyshawn's perspective, you have to be proud of the performance. The season's best performance. You can't ask for anything more, can you?
Correct. And you know, coming off a surgery, coming off of injuries, coming out there, you know, he did 83 in the preliminary round and then going 86-16 was fantastic. So he represented his country well. Anderson Peters, another medal for Grenada. Grenada could celebrate. St. Lucia, Dominica. Wow. I'm kind of jealous as a Trini, you know. As somebody waited done yet, I want to see my flag raise.
I know, I've been waiting patiently
Cycler carrying Nicholas Paul, I mean, he get knocked out the sprint, but
I'll take even a bronze.
Anything, we taking anything. I mean, Jareem Richards, proud of him, 400, he was fantastic. He could not do better, Leighton. When you're a coach and you give a man, an athlete, a strategy based on the lane, based on the event, and he does it perfectly, you can't complain.
Can't complain at all. Rashid Broadbell, though, bronze medal, brave bronze, coming from behind the field after hitting the first hurdle, and of course, I think he clipped the last one as well.
Correct.
Still managed to maintain his composure and hold a medal there.
And it's really a silver. The American owned Roberts, no relation, but he only get a silver because he tripped and was falling down.
Yep.
Again, chest. So in falling, because when about 3 steps after the finish line, he made a flip and a somersault coming out. In falling, his chest accelerated ahead of Broadbell, but Broadbell was really there for the silver medal. But Jamaica well done. I mean, having 3 Jamaicans in one final. Look at it here. Look at the yell. I mean, that is just beautiful to see. I would have liked to see it in front. But Holloway was just the class of the field. The rest of the hurdlers had a problem. I think Holloway's start and getting out on them caused all of them to panic a little bit.
Absolutely. And of course, we have to wrap up with the 400-meter hurdle for women. Listen, going into the Olympics, I thought Femke Ball was going to push Sydney McLaughlin. It turned out to be anything but.
No, she was ahead by a lot.
It turned out to be anything but. But I put that down to what we are seeing. We're probably seeing the Muhammad Ali of hurdling 400 meters. McLaughlin went out and I was watching her in the first hurdle and at first few strides she caught Femke Bol, and then you could literally see by the second hurdle she told herself, hold on, we're not going at world records here, we want to make sure we win. So look at this race here. You will see McLaughlin, she's already up on Femke Bol in the middle of the screen, and right here now she says, wait, cool it. What am I doing? I don't need to go wild. I've got to make sure that if Femke Bol has anything on the final straightaway, that I have in reserve to win the gold, because Olympics is not about time. It's about getting up on the podium. And then she comes around here, and that's all she wrote. This is textbook. You just need to film this. And in Trinidad, some people say film it and just show the children. This is smooth, this is class, this is powerful. She is obliterating the rest of the world and going clear. The American now, Femke Bol, is in shock because she didn't expect to see this in her worst nightmare. And then comes Cottrell coming through to get the silver. USA 1-2, but a world record. And she said that she could go faster, which is true. I believe her because she slowed herself down, Mariah. That is intelligence. Our coach loves that. Under pressure, to know that you have to cool it and save something in case somebody comes up. That's brilliant.
Like the flat 400 yesterday, we saw Rachel Clayton run 52.68, sorry, and come 5th.
Correct, in the flat with no hurdle. There's someone running 50.35. Going over 10 hurdles and looking comfortable. It's brilliant to see. And I think it's because now the world is going to change. Normally you go into hurdles because you don't really have a good 400. You might make the 400 flat, so you go into hurdles and you make an event. Now, in all the little primary schools, secondary schools, real sprinters are going to be doing the hurdles. She has rewritten the event, putting it up into prominence, and we're going to see probably I think she could go sub 50.
I'm convinced she can.
Really in a class of her own. And a quick comment on the long jump. Jamaica's Akila Smith coming 8th.
6 meters 66.
And many people, of course, Anil would understand because of, all the different things she's been through, but still Jamaicans would have been hoping for a medal.
Once you make a final, that's all right. We always hope, and coaches and fans, that's our job. But to have a finalist in there once again, the long jump is such a technical event. Some days you could be on, other days you're questioning what's going on, your steps, are you accelerating, what's your head position, how you're driving off, are you missing the board, how you're landing, how you're entering the pit. It's a job, it's an event that requires instantaneous coaching, intelligence, and so on. And I must say, the American who won came out warm out. And she came out ready for action. Her coach was there, and from the first jump, she laid it down and said, listen, defending champion, listen, world champion, I'm here to represent my country. And that was an exciting thing to see. Jump after jump after jump, consistency.
And Tara's been consistent over 7 meters all year. I mean, she's on the Travis coverage, she's got to a level where 7 meters almost seems like clockwork to her every time she goes to the competition. And I think it put Mihambo off a little bit and forced her to work a little bit harder mentally to just try to get that proper jump that she can get.
Because I was saying, when Mihambo jumped her first one, if you're a 730 jumper, why are you starting off at 660 something? I mean, that's a big gap. I could understand a 695, and once that pressure was on, then you're scrambling, your timing is off, you're trying a little bit too hard because you've got to accelerate, you've got to drive and relax in the air and then hit the pit. So it's good to see the Caribbean well represented in all the jumps, in the triple jump, in that jump, in the high jump. We are doing well. In the heptathlon, there's excitement also going with the ladies, the girls, Hall and so on from USA. All our young athletes need to pay attention to that, and we should be represented in every event from the Caribbean.
One point
hoping.
though, Akedia Smith, the winning distance, 7 meters 10, she jumped that earlier this year.
Yeah, so
You know,
just
so-
unfortunate we
So
couldn't
she
get that
knows
there.
she has it within her. So
Correct.
this is, you know, winning the NCAA long and triple jump. Jasmine Moore actually won medals in both events as well. So you're looking at a situation where Akedia Smith is showing the potential that she'll have for the next Olympic cycle. In fact, for the World Championship next year.
But once again, you see what we're saying. I spoke about it with the 400-meter runner, and also if you have NCAA and you're running for your university and you're jumping for your university and you're resting and tapering for April, it's very hard to come to August. You've got to select coaches who understand that these athletes represent the Caribbean. We're not like the USA have 330 million people in every state. They have jumpers, they have hurdlers, they have we have precious gems, and we have to take care of them, especially in the Olympic year.
Yeah, and speaking about precious gems, Jamaica's Danielle Thomas-Dodd failed to advance in the women's shot put, and she made her disappointment and frustrations known to Alex Jordan, who is covering the action inside the Stade de France.
Thomas-Dodd, 31-year-old from Westmoreland, Jamaica. Didn't enjoy it. Your face looks like you weren't so pleased with your result. Tell us a bit about what happened out there.
I mean, it's been a tough couple of weeks. You know, the qualification is something that is definitely within my reach. However, you know, it's been very frustrating to every time come to these major Olympic Games and, you know, not making the finals. And, you know, this time around it was definitely something that I felt like was easy for me to do. However, I didn't have my coach here. I've been in the village for 2.5 weeks, and I was denied the privilege of having a coach's pass for my coach to even be at the training facilities for 2.5 weeks. So you're talking about 365 days of training just gone down the drain because I didn't have my coach for 2.5 weeks while being here. So it is definitely very frustrating, you know, and it's I think it's something that I definitely have to sit and reflect on and moving forward as to, you know, what will be definitely best for me and my mental health, because I cannot do this anymore. It's very frustrating dealing with JOA and J3S because these people don't care about field events in Jamaica. And if they did, they would make sure that we have everything we need to make us comfortable, because my coach is not just a part of my training process. You know, he's a very crucial part of my warm-up and getting ready for preparations, and I didn't have him for 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. It's very frustrating because this is definitely something that I'm more than capable of obtaining, and I came short today.
Yeah, I can feel and sense and understand your frustration, particularly now that you see Jamaica competing so well in the field event.
Exactly, and that's the irony of it. The gold medal that they were sitting down waiting for did not come from the track. It came from the field events, and those are the events that they neglect so much in Jamaica. And most of the medals that we have gotten so far at these games comes from the field events, and we're the most marginalized groups within Jamaica track and field, and it's very frustrating, and it's time for them to stop and really reflect on what they're doing to us as athletes.
Danielle Thomas, I'm grateful you spoke your mind to us, and I'm so compassionate and sorry for your experience. You really performed well on this world stage. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You know, I really felt that interview. You know, I felt it for her. And Leighton, you've been covering the JOA and J3As for several years. Is there any credence to what she said?
All right, here, let me put some things into context. The JOA does not select coaches. The J3As does.
Okay.
They make recommendations to the JOA, who then accredits those who the J3As recommends. This is not a unique complaint. We heard Lamara Diston say the same thing about her high jump coach. Both events, by the way, are very technical events. And if the credence for me comes into the idea of the understanding of that, the fact that these two events are very technical events, the coaches are essential. When you're a track and field athlete, the fundamentals are the same. So you can have a team coach that look at your guys and say, okay, fine, this is what. But for each individual thrower, each individual jumper, We heard Lamar Distin talk about her approach. She's been struggling with her approach all season. And the reality is that she also didn't get her coach accredited to come in, and she's been having a problem with her approach all year. For Danielle Thomas, that again another very technical event. You're looking at a situation where she needed her coach for those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You train for an entire year for this event, and if you don't have your coach to put those final touches on your preparation, it does impact your performance, your ability to be at your best. When you look at the fact, for example, that yesterday Roger Stoner won gold. You know who his coach is? Ryan Krauser. He was in there with him, and that allowed him to be at his best when it was required.
And she spoke about 2 weeks, being without your coach for
because
so long.
look, when you're practicing, you can't see yourself practice, right? And it's isolated to each individual athlete, because every athlete has flaws, every athlete has different technical issues that their coaches have to correct. So she might be warming up and throwing, but she's doing the wrong thing all the time.
Yeah.
She has no coach to say to her, hey, fix that, sort that out. Your body position is wrong, your angle is wrong when you're releasing the shot. All of those things. So I understand her frustration, and I think one of the things that I think both the JOA and the J3A forget sometimes is that they're there to make the lives of the athletes easier.
I always
not
say that.
harder.
Yeah. And Anil, you come in here because you've coached before and you understand.
So first of all, whoever threatening to ban the athlete, stop. Everybody take a deep breath. She spoke truth. First and foremost, that athlete, I love that. I feel that. You see, one day you representing a country. We ain't come to play. We ain't come for no opening ceremony. We ain't come to gallery and see the Seine and go and see the Louvre and that. We come to compete. So she's upset that she didn't perform well. What is she talking about? She didn't have her coach. Okay, there are limited resources, limited accreditations, and so on. But we must find solutions. So let's take down the heat on it. Don't think to attack the athlete and so on. That's emotions that came out. Now, some other points. To her coach and to the athlete, you didn't have to be there 2.5 weeks. You all have to understand, coaching is very critical. If you not performing till today, what you doing there 2.5 weeks if your coach does not have an accreditation? I'm staying right here with my coach. I'm flying up 5 days before, and my coach should get a sponsor and come up there and stay somewhere right there in Paris by the Seine, in the park somewhere, and be there to help me. This is not a game to come and have an excuse to cry. So, JOA, J3A, cool it. The athlete is upset. Young athlete, coaches, you need your athlete. You don't know, you coach 2.5 weeks. The coach has to monitor how much you're sleeping, how you're feeling, what's your state of mind, what you're eating, how you're throwing, how you're feeling, how you're maintaining your strength. At that stage, you still have to go in the gym. I have to spot you to make sure that you're doing 2 or 3 repetitions of your maximum without tearing your fibers. How much massage, how much liquid. You need your coach, especially in those technical events. Sometimes we also select coaches because we're friend and thing, and the coaches go up there like in 2004 Trinidad and Tobago after George Bovell won the medal. The 4x100 women's relay team of Trinidad and Tobago went in Athens to run the semi-final, and the coach was eating ice cream in the village, and I see with my own eyes. So I understand the problems, but don't attack the athlete. Listen to the issues and let's find some solutions.
That's what it is. I think some other times, we tend to let our egos, when I say ours, in the administration, get the better of us. Understand that these are the people who go there to win medals, not the officials.
And your administration looks good when your athletes win medals. That's
so why wouldn't you put yourself... Look, I understand her angst. I understand that she's frustrated. And I think we should, as the administrators, see that the athletes are hurting and do our best to change that dynamic.
Yeah.
Because if it's not the case, we'll have... Look, Jamaica went into these championships thinking that it's going to be between 9 and 15. Now the maximum that Jamaica can get is 7. If Akira Nugent does well in the hurdles, or Daniel Williams or Janik Brown. The fact is that they underperformed should be a concern to both JOA and J3As.
Yeah.
Well, if you're talking underperform, I take myself out of that because Trinidad and Tobago, somebody had to help we.
Yeah. Well, speaking about performances, tomorrow Caribbean athletes will be contesting 4 finals in athletics. Let's take a look at them, starting with the women's 4x100 meters. So let's look for the Caribbean athletes. Jamaica will be a part of this 4x100 women's final. Yeah, that's what we have from this.
You see why I'm upset?
Yeah, let's
your,
take a
your
look
list so short, you leave out Trinidad at 43.99.
Let's take a look now at the women's 400 meters final. That was a good one, Anil. You got me off guard. So Barbados will be represented in this one. Do you see Trinidad and Tobago in this one, Anil?
In that one? No, unfortunately.
All right, let's move along now.
I would like to see it.
We have the men's triple jump. We have Brazil. We have Jamaica. Jaden Hibbert, one that I'm looking forward to. I think this is a good medal
and
prospect.
we have Cuba, even though it's Caribbean, Spanish,
Yeah,
you know.
Cuba.
Caribbean, we backing them too.
Yeah. Now, the men's triple jump final. Okay, so we still have that graphic up. Now we're moving to the men's 400 meters hurdles. Caribbean, looking for the Caribbean, Jamaica.
Karen McMaster from BVI and, of course, Rashawn Clark from Jamaica.
Yeah. So,
Lanes 6 and 9 respectively.
yeah, so a quick comment from both of you. Where are the medals coming from? And I'm talking about the Caribbean, please.
Well, Rai Benjamin is a Caribbean too, you know.
Yeah, Winston Benjamin's son.
Yeah, Winston Benjamin fast bowler, that his son, so we could take a piece of that.
Gentlemen,
But McMaster, if he runs, I mean, he's in the middle of the track in a bit of no man's land, going to get a bit of both worlds, starting and finishing. But he has been at this level and he has performed well. So I think our Jamaican hurdler is going to have to, that's what you call a big man race.
Yeah.
Outside, he'll have to take it out. He will feel pain on those last 3 hurdles like never before if he does what he's supposed to. And if he could get over them, stay relaxed, don't shorten his steps in the last 60 meters, he might be able to take something from the outside.
Yeah, because especially that Dos Santos does look vulnerable. Ever since he came back from London, I think it was, he looked really not himself. And I think if there is one of the big few that can be beaten, it would be him. So if Karen or Rashawn can run a solid race, they could probably sneak onto the podium, you never can tell. As for the Jamaican women 4x1 without Shelley, without Sharika, you know.
Tough one, eh?
Yeah,
well, Anil, I have to tell you thank you for joining us on the
You're
SportsMax
most
Zone.
welcome.
Keep up the good work on our Paris Olympics coverage, and we hope to have you back on soon.
Thank you very much. Keep up the good work.
All right, we're taking a quick break. And remember, if you haven't downloaded the SportsMax app yet, well, the Olympics is coming to an end and you're really missing out. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
United, our spirits bright. Dans la ville de Paris, where dreams come alive. Nous sommes ensemble.